last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal. Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me. That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and battered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. A very good afternoon. Welcome to FA Cup Live for the second live semi-final from Wembley as Chelsea take on Leeds, with these two sides looking to make it to the FA Cup final. Manchester City booked their place in the showpiece event yesterday after coming from behind to beat Southampton 2-1 at Wembley. Nico Gonzalez's rocketed effort, the winner, to send Manchester City to the FA Cup final for the fourth straight season. But these two have been away for a few years out of the FA Cup final, but it is now time for one of them to return. Chelsea come into this one 7 of the last 8 games losing. For Leeds, it's 7 unbeaten coming into this FA Cup final. The contrast in the form couldn't be much bigger, but when it comes to a one-off showpiece game, it is about who performs on the day and who shows up. For Chelsea, interim boss Callum McFarlane took charge after the departure of Liam Rosenior just a few days ago after their 3-0 defeat to Brighton on Tuesday night. So he's in charge for this one, and Daniel Farke, who's been here before in this situation, in the playoffs, in the Championship. But it is now time for Leeds in the semi-finals of the FA Cup to try and book their place in the final. Confirmation of the two fixtures for the semi-finals. Let's have a look at the two teams for this one, starting with Chelsea. Robert Sanchez starts in goal. A back four of Malo Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, Tosin and Marc Cucurella make up the defence. Moises Caicedo is joined alongside Romeo Lavia in midfield, with Enzo Fernandez the captain in the 10. Alejandro Garnacho and Pedro Neto are the wingers, with João Pedro returning to the side from injury. He leads the line. On the bench for the Blues, Sharman Lowe, Achiampong, Fofana, Hato, Santos, Asugo, Derry, Palmer and Delap. Good to see Cole Palmer back in the lineup for Chelsea. They will be hoping to see him laid on if needs be. For Leeds United, well, Lucas Perry continues in goal. He's been their cup goalkeeper all season. Could he lead them all the way to an FA Cup final? A back 3/back 5, Jayden Bogle and Gabriel Gudmundsson as the wing-backs, Justin Biol and Stroik as the centre-backs, Captain Ethan Ampadu is alongside Ao Tanaka in midfield, Brendan Aronson and Noah Okafor the wingers, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the man leading the Leeds line. On the bench for the Whites, Darlow, Rodon, Bornau, Longstaff, Stack, James, Nonto, Piru and Mecha. Options if they need them here for Leeds. But when it comes to form, it's Leeds who win out. But in terms of a one-off game, it's anybody's guess of which of these two will be in the FA Cup final and which of these two will have Manchester City as their opponents in less than 3 weeks' time back here again for the FA Cup final. It is Chelsea against Leeds, trying to look for a place in the final. Who will get through? Kick-off, though, it's on the way next. A very good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. And we join us from, of course, Coventry City's crowning moment in the Championship to the FA Cup. Two Premier League sides looking to make it, will be, an All-Premier League FA Cup final. We know that. But which of these two will be joining Manchester City in the final on the 16th of May? And is less than 3 weeks away. An opportunity to grasp. Leeds United, who've not been here for a long time. 39 years the last time Leeds were in an FA Cup semi-final. For Chelsea, it's only a couple of years ago since they were last here. But this time, they want to go all the way. And it'll be one hell of a job if they do for Callum McFarlane. The interim boss, of course, to the end of the season. It is blue v white. Chelsea v Leeds. And a place in the FA Cup final up for grabs. Who will take it? It will be Chelsea to get us underway. And referee Jared Gillett blows the whistle, and there it goes. And we're underway at Wembley for the 2026 FA Cup semi-final, the second of which. And who will be joining Manchester City in the final? It could have been Southampton in the final yesterday, but here come Leeds with a first chance to break away early doors here. Opportunity right from the off, and Moises Caicedo with a late challenge on the edge of the box is going to give Leeds a very early free kick. Noah Okafor brought down by Caicedo, and that is a Leeds free kick right on the edge of the box. Now, right from the off, Leeds were charging through Chelsea, and an early free kick for the Blues to defend. Now, there's a player down here for Chelsea. Trying to see, is it João Pedro who's down? Oh, it's Malo Gusto actually. He was caught out as Leeds won the ball back, and he stayed down here at Malo Gusto. Well, Leeds readying up to take this free kick then. Ao Tanaka is the one with the ball under his right arm. Noise from both ends of Wembley Stadium. Leeds to the left, Chelsea to the right. Both sides, of course, will attack their fans in the second half, the end of which their fans are in the second half, as is usually accustomed when you come to Wembley. Customary. As Malo Gusto held back to his feet after his issue, so he should be okay to continue, but the referee telling him to go off at the near side of the field to the left, and Leeds will be allowed to take this free kick. Lots of options here, lots of players looking to take this one. This is a huge moment so early in this semi-final, and a massive opportunity for Leeds right from the beginning. Pedro Neto trying to intimidate by standing there. Ao Tanaka and Gabriel Gudmundsson are the two that are standing over the ball here then, as Robert Sanchez tries to set up his Chelsea wall. Well, this is definitely one of those free kicks where if you can get a good right foot curler on this to the top left corner, I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously, but that's surely what they'd be aiming for here. Let's see. James Justin was on the scene there, but he's just going to walk away. It's Tanaka and Gudmundsson. Who's going to take it? 3 minutes gone. Leeds with a massive free kick from about 20 yards out. It's Ao Tanaka over the top. Goal kick. Well, he was trying to go for that top left corner, Ao Tanaka. Just couldn't get the ball to come back down. He got it up and over the wall. Just couldn't get it back down in time. Goal kick. Certainly not one of his best for Ao Tanaka. I mean, Leeds in incredible form recently. I mean, you have to really commend the job that Daniel Farke's done this season. I mean, can you believe that his job was at risk in the early part of the season? Then Leeds beat Chelsea, actually, that catapulted them onto a good run in the middle part of the season. They beat them at Elland Road 3-1, I think, earlier in the season. It would be good to check my records and see that. 3-1 it was back in the start of December. And it just catapulted Leeds onto a good run at that point of the campaign. They're on their best run of the season, 7 unbeaten. Unbeaten in the last 5 league games, and of course won their last 2 FA Cup games on that run. 2 wins and 3 draws in the last 5 Premier League games, including wins against United and Wolves on that run, and draws with Bournemouth, home to Brentford, and away at Crystal Palace, beating down to 10 men. So they've looked a really strong, resilient side, Leeds, in the last number of games. And of course that penalty shootout against West Ham to get to this point. Of course, West Ham were 2-0 down with dying embers. They came back and brought it all the way to penalties, the Hammers, and ultimately Leeds won out 4-2 on penalty kicks. That was on Easter Sunday. It was 3 weeks ago today. There's a long ball from Sanchez. Good hold up by Joao Pedro. Enzo Fernandez will strike from range, but right down the throat of Lucas Perry, who gathers comfortably. Not afraid to unleash one from range there, Enzo Fernandez, and he let that one rip with the right boot, but right down the middle of the goalkeeper. But to a little loose in possession. Fernandez out to the left, finds Garnacho. Chelsea in again. Garnacho with a cutback, blocked by Tanaka, and a little skip by Brendan Aronson to break away from his man, Calvert-Lewin. Aronson runs into trouble. Leeds look to break away quickly and Chelsea retrieve. Tosin. Frantic start to this FA Cup semi-final. High tempo, high energy. First 6 minutes. That's what we want to see. 2 teams going at it for a place in the final. And Chelsea, of course, 8-time winners of the FA Cup. The last time they were in the final was 2022. That was actually their 3rd final in a row in the FA Cup, and their 4th final in 6 years in the competition, but they haven't reached the final in any of the last 3 seasons. The furthest they got was the semi-finals here 2 seasons ago, and they were beaten by Manchester City in said semi-final. Garnacho. Lavia back to Enzo Fernandez, who will swing it in with the right foot. A little too high on that one. Up and over and out for a goal kick. Well, when they did get to that last final, Chelsea, in the FA Cup, Liverpool beat them on penalties in 2022. Leicester beat them the year before, and Arsenal beat them the year before that. They, of course, won the final back in 2018 against Manchester United, did Chelsea. The last win in this competition at the showpiece event, and then were knocked out by Man United the season after that, funnily enough. And they were knocked out of the 4th round last season, Chelsea, by Brighton. They lost 2-1 in that 4th round game. When it comes to Leeds, well, their record in the FA Cup a little bit more scarce. This is the furthest they've been, the semi-finals. As I said, 39 years the last time they were here, 1987, and they lost to Coventry after extra time. 3-2 it finished after extra time on that day. That was the last time Leeds were in an FA Cup semi-final. Got to a couple of quarter-finals since then, but nothing quite like this day. And of course, years ago, it used to be that the semi-finals were played elsewhere, that they weren't played at Wembley, they were played at Villa Park or elsewhere further north. But, of course, Wembley gets the semi-finals and the final now. Of course, there's been a lot of disillusionment to that, people not happy with that. But maybe days like this for Leeds, and I'm not saying they're down and out. If they go to the final, incredible. But, you know, for Southampton, for example, getting to the semi-final is much better than what they expected of this season. But a trip to Wembley at the end of it, albeit in a semi-final, but a trip to Wembley is still meaningful no matter what. And if it doesn't come round often, Leeds, of course, a day out, first time in nearly 4 decades in a semi-final. Wembley, the fitting venue for said occasion. Chelsea with a bit of possession here. They've controlled the ball in the last couple of minutes, Chelsea. Overall, have actually had 85% possession in the first 10 minutes. But the only shot of the game from Chelsea was Enzo Fernandez's, and the other one from Leeds was, of course, the free kick from Ao Tanaka. Zigzag football as Enzo Fernandez tries to feed it out wide to Garnacho. Takes it in, does the Argentinian. And Cucurella back to Caicedo. He looks for the switch. Out to that right channel, looking for Pedro Neto, who was nearly there, but nearly's not enough. Goal kick. By the way, our referee Jared Gillett this afternoon. He did well there, the referee. João Pedro was brought down and decided to play advantage and allow Chelsea to progress the ball. When we talk about Chelsea's recent run in the FA Cup, Leeds have had a run of being knocked out in the 3rd round in 5 successive seasons in the competition until they got to the 5th round in 2023, and they lost Fulham in that one. Chelsea actually knocked Leeds out in the 5th round back in 2024, winning 3-2 in that game, Chelsea at the 5th round, and then Millwall knocked Leeds out last season in the 4th round. But 5th round has been the furthest they've got in this competition since they got to the quarter-finals back in 2003, Leeds. So it was already a 23-year record they'd beaten when they got to the quarter-finals, and a 39-year record they've beaten to get to the semis. And speaking of finals, the last time they were in a final, Leeds, if they break the records again, we're going back 53 years since they were last in an FA Cup final. They lost it to Sunderland. Here's Garnacho in behind. Ball had just run out of room. Goal kick. Just couldn't keep it in play there, Alejandro Garnacho. Again, he made the run. I see it here. He lays the ball off. Play a couple of passes, Chelsea, and he just breaks in behind the Leeds defence. Better touch there, and he would have been in. Beautiful ball by Caicedo. Flicked over the top. He just takes it with his right foot. Maybe just take it with your left. Take it down and then set up with your right. But easy for me to say. Ultimately, he took the touch with his right and it took him away from goal. And seen it out for a goal kick. Sanchez hooked up the field. Had it won by Tanaka. Taken in by Malo Gusto, though, on the rebound. And Trevor Chalobah trying to swindle his way past Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who was pressing. He did well there as João Pedro let it roll past him, and Jakob Bijol sees it back to his goalkeeper in Lucas Perry. Cloud in the chat says, since Rosinha has been sacked, who is the new Chelsea manager? Surely they can't get a new manager this quick. Well, Callum McFarlane takes charge of this one. He will take charge of Chelsea till the end of the season as the interim boss, and then they will. The statement really from the club was, we'll take time to reflect on our decisions and time to select a new boss. And I suspect we won't see a new permanent manager for Chelsea at least probably after the World Cup, possibly mid-July. Because who knows, at the end of the World Cup there could be some high-class managers available. Chelsea want to find the best of the best. Here come Enzo Fernandez. Down the left to Garnacho. Up against Bogle. Tanaka in cover, but ball finds its way to Enzo Fernandez, and now Caicedo. Down the line, Cucurella. Again to Garnacho, who's been targeted a lot early doors, and tried the cross, blocked. Cleared away, but only as far as Caicedo. Bit of pressure here from Chelsea. Leeds can't get breaking it away at the minute. Neto, well clogged up. Everybody back for Leeds, you got to say right now. Bar Dominic Calvert-Lewin there, but Cucurella back to Tosin. Calabo lost the ball there a second. He was almost caught. He did well to work out of that difficult spots. And then he gives it away, Chalaba, to Brendan Aronson. Ampadu finding Bogle, who wants to break forward for Leeds. Finds Calvert-Lewin. That's a lovely ball through. Brendan Aronson's in. Good save by Sanchez to deny him. That was absolutely beautiful football from Leeds. One touch. I mean, this is where it all starts with Jayden Bogle. Plays it direct into Calvert-Lewin and just swings it round the corner. I mean, how he knew that space was there, I'll never know. The reverse ball is perfect right the way through, and Brendan Aronson sneaks in behind. And right 1v1 against Sanchez. The angle was against him. And Sanchez with a save with his right foot forces it for the corner. But that was a massive moment for Leeds. And what a save from Sanchez to deny them. Brendan Aronson should have made it 1-0 to Leeds United. Corner it'll be though. The first corner of the game. Let's see what this set piece delivery has in store. Tanaka right footed. Up into the mix. It's not away yet as Sanchez catches the dropping ball. Well, Chelsea have faced Leeds in 6 previous FA Cup ties and have progressed from all 6. That's not a good omen for Leeds. Most recently, as I said, in the 5th round of the 2023-24 season, they've only faced Hull more often, Chelsea, whilst winning each tie. That was 9 out of 9. Bogle intercepting the ball to Garnacho. Leeds with a bit of energy all of a sudden, but Bogle's ball quite a few yards ahead of Brendan Aronson that time, and Cucurella feeds it back to his goalkeeper. Well, the two sides drew 2-2 in the most recent meeting. That was at Stamford Bridge back in at the start of February. Leeds were 2-0 down in that game. João Pedro and Cole Palmer giving Chelsea a 2-goal lead before Lucas Mecha and Noah Okafor popped up with 2 goals in 6 minutes for Leeds to rescue a draw in the Premier League and could have won it late. Here come Chelsea. Neto! Blocked by Ampadu. Aronson trying to pick up the pieces up against Cucurella here. And Cucurella forcing the American over to the ground. Free kick to Leeds. And he's G'ing up the Leeds end of Wembley. There's no need for those to be G'd up. Full of noise, that side. That's one thing about Leeds United and their fans. They're passionate to the core. And you will think, if Leeds do go through here to an FA Cup final, one side of Wembley will sound like 90,000 Wembley. That's how loud Leeds will be. And those fans, I mean, as I said, 53 years. We thought 23 years for a quarter-final was long. We thought 39 years for a semi-final was long. They get to the final, 53 years. That is one hell of a long time. Cucurella absolutely rocketing that one to make sure there was no Leeds possession, but they will get the throw in. A couple of the dignitaries watching on. Don't want to be disrespectful, but the old boys. Long throw down the left by Gudmundsson. Chelsea duly received the ball. Chalaba to Cucurella. Back to Tosin. Romeo Lavia. Chalaba back to Tosin. Leeds with the best chance of the game so far, no doubt. Brendan Aronson's big opportunity saved by Sanchez. The best moment of the game so far in an attacking sense for either team. Here comes Chelsea and Pascal Struijk directing that cross behind for a Chelsea corner. Chelsea's first corner of the game it will be. Pedro Neto to take this Chelsea corner, right hand side. Left-footed delivery, up and away by Struijk at the near post. Not cleared away as Garnacho's shot off balance was blocked by a man. He stayed down, Garnacho, and Chelsea have possession. Lavia, stolen away from him. Couldn't break away there initially, but the ball over the top will threaten Chelsea, but well dealt with by Chalobah against Okafor. Chelsea with the ball once again. And that's where Leeds will be a threat on the counter-attack. We've already seen it. Their best chance of the game coming from a breakaway, but that's where Leeds will be really dangerous, and that's where Chelsea need to be very careful not to give them too many opportunities on the breakaway, because they will take them. Look at this, the forced Chelsea all the way back to their goalkeeper in their own box here. Good strong press, and as Sanchez goes long and thumping header there, and it ultimately comes right back to the Chelsea goalkeeper. Now Leeds are unbeaten in both Premier League matches against Chelsea this season. It's the 7th time the two sides have met, 3 or more times in a season in all competitions, but the Whites have never previously avoided defeat in all 3 meetings in a single season. Here's Garnacho into the box. A bit of a roll of the ball and a bit off balance of a touch there from Brendan Aronson. Pokes it out for a Chelsea throw. The near side. Short, just over 20 minutes gone. Remains goalless between Chelsea and Leeds in this FA Cup semi-final. Cucurella to take this Chelsea throw in. Launches it into the box, but no one there in blue. Picked away by Lavia with the rebound, and now João Pedro off the post. Off the inside of the post and away and behind for a goal kick. We see it here. Chelsea don't do well from the throw, and it's poor, but Leeds give it away cheaply. A poor clearance. Lavia finding Enzo Fernandez, I think it is, that pokes it through. He finds João Pedro hanging off the back of James Justin, and as he struck with his left foot, João Pedro bounces off the post, round the back of Perry, and out the other end for a goal kick. But seen it so many times. The post can send it one way or the other, can send it into the net or away from it, and on that occasion it was away. As this will be a Leeds corner, I think. They wanted it. Jayden Bogle won't get it, I think. Goal kick. Albeit Chelsea have dominated possession, had more of the shots and all of that, but it's Leeds with the best chance of the game to this point. Still a long way to go. Struijk outmuscles his man, and then gives away the ball cheaply to João Pedro, and Neto's in behind. He's got options in the middle. Neto pokes it across, and the header is in by Enzo Fernandez. The captain delivers the opener, and Chelsea are in front. The Blues break the deadlock, and they are on course for an early opportunity to put Leeds to the sword. Enzo Fernandez with a great header, but again it's Leeds cheaply giving it away in their own half, and Chelsea this time pounce upon the opportunity. Comes from a long ball from Robert Sanchez, and here Pascal Struijk wins his header, but as he takes it down, he shows too much of it to João Pedro, wins it back, feeds it down the right for Pedro Neto, who flicks it across beautifully, and Enzo Fernandez gets a bit of separation from his defender. Free header to knock it past Lucas Perry. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. That is a cracking goal from Chelsea, but a cheap one for Leeds to give away, you have to say. And Enzo Fernandez coming up with a key moment early doors, and Chelsea find themselves in front. A side that are out of form, a side that has confidence of being knocked to sunders in the last few weeks. 7 defeats in the last 8 games. Their only win was in the FA Cup against League One Port Vale. Could the FA Cup be the ultimate distraction that Chelsea need from league distaste and league form that's been woeful in recent games? And they are in front against the side who are the informed team. But at the moment, they had their chance, they couldn't take it. Chelsea have their big chance, and they do take it. A frustration for Daniel Farke and the fact that his team really gifted Chelsea the chance. The mistake that led to the reclaiming of possession for Chelsea. Well, there's an issue here. VAR are checking for a possible hair pull on Marco Correa by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There's very little in it, I have to say. I mean, he does make contact with his hair. I don't think he makes a pulling motion. Just kind of swipes past his hair. From what I saw there's very little in it. But you have to say, remember, Leeds got the benefit of a hair pull red card against Manchester United at Old Trafford a few weeks ago when Dominic Calvert-Lewin was the one who had his hair pulled. We see it again. No, there's nothing in that. Yeah, never in a million years. No chance. Checked and cleared. VAR had a quick look and said no further action. So we play on. A peculiar moment, but I mean, understandably, the fact that Leeds in a high-profile red card for a hair pull, the fact that VAR spotted it, I felt there was something there, but ultimately not enough to overturn the decision of no action, really. As we play on. I have to say, 26 minutes. Chelsea have been the side in control, but Leeds have looked threatening on the break. Few and far between, really. I have to say, if they were going to take advantage of this sort of play, they had to take that chance with Brendan Aronson. Here is Goodmanson. Strike, sold a little bit there by his full back. He made up for it, and Lucas Perry got it quickly to Jaka Bijol to settle the Leeds side again. Bijol clips it into midfield. Nice ball to find Okafor. Gets the separation and then miscues his pass, but he felt he was fouled. Referee saw no issue. He was right there under his nose there, the referee, and says play on. Lavia. Cucurella. Fernandez. Beaten to it there was Joao Pedro by Jaka Bijol. And here's Pascal Struijk. Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu finding the space there for Okafor. He couldn't squeeze past a couple in the end. Brought down by Tanaka. Skillfully finds Goodmanson on this left-hand side, who's trying to evade the challenge. And Pedro Neto comes through the back of him anyway. Free kick to Leeds. And Pedro Neto claiming his innocence, but I mean, there was no mess in that. It was definitely a foul. Now Tanaka over this free kick again. He took the free kick inside the first couple of minutes. Obviously much closer range and much more dangerous, but this one very wide on the left. Chelsea have set up their defensive line right inside the D. Ball swung across by Tanaka. Bijol flicks it back into the middle. Bouncing down as a Chelsea player goes down. That's going to be a Chelsea free kick. The referee said there was a pull, and Chelsea get the free kick. Well, Chelsea have progressed from 9 of their last 11 FA Cup semi-finals. Their 2 defeats in this time, coming against Manchester City 2012-2013 and 2023-24. In that time, since Leeds last played in a semi-final, the Blues have played in 17 semi-finals and 13 finals, last reaching the final, of course, in 2022. Which is one hell of a record, that, for Chelsea. I mean, it was Chelsea's competition, really, in the late 2000s. From 2007 to 2012, they won the competition 4 times out of 6 possible occasions in that run. Oh, chance there for Lavia. Then João Pedro ultimately goes wide. See it here, chest from João Pedro, struck it towards goal, and it just kind of curled away the last seconds. Decent opportunity. As I was saying, Chelsea, the last time Leeds were in a FA Cup final or semi-final, Chelsea had won the competition just once, and that was against Leeds back in 1970, when it went 2-2, then went to a replay and was 2-1 after extra time to Chelsea. Chelsea had won the competition once the last time Leeds were in a semi-final. Since then, since 1997, Chelsea have won it 7 times. Middlesbrough, Aston Villa, Man United, Everton, Portsmouth, Liverpool, Man United again. The 7 times they won in finals in this competition. And of course, as I said, the most recent, 2018, 8 years ago, in this competition. And Chelsea win a corner here. Garnacho's ball swung in from the left and chested behind by a Leeds defender for another corner. Chelsea certainly the side in control. Very much so. Need to try their hardest to keep themselves in the game. That's all that matters. Keep yourself in the game. You never know. Pedro Neto swings it in from the right. Up and away by Tanaka. Not very far though. We'll come back to Pedro Neto. Gets a bit of space. Lifts it in with the left boot to the back post. And that one was guided behind by a couple of Leeds players behind for a goal kick. Nicely done there. Daniel Farker in deep thought on the bench. His side have really struggled since that Brendan Aronson chance. Really struggled to lay a glove on Chelsea. As we see the goal again, Enzo Fernandez, just a cracking header down into the ground. Beautiful goal. Throw in here for Leeds on the left-hand side. Biol. Justin. Back to Jakob Biol. Around the corner from Bogle. Held up by... Well, he tried to hold it up, Calvert-Lewin, but gave it away to Romeo Lavia. And Leeds quickly dispossessed. Caicedo. João Pedro. Lovely little 1-2s between him and Enzo Fernandez. Now the ball comes wide to Garnacho. Eking out the little bit of space, but João Pedro beaten to it that time by Ampadu. Out for the throw. Ethan Ampadu, of course, former Chelsea player. He was a Chelsea player until he joined Leeds for £7 million back in July 2023. Hold on a second, here comes Chelsea, the flag's up. He joined Chelsea, Ethan Ampadu, back in 2017. Had loan spells at Leipzig, Sheffield United, Venezia, Spezia, and then joined Leeds on a permanent deal back in 2023. Hasn't looked back since. Played an ultimate incredible part for Leeds over the last 3 seasons in their rise. 119 appearances. This is 120th appearance for the club for Ethan Ampadu. Played thousands upon thousands of minutes over the last 3 seasons. Oh, it's given away cheaply here by Chelsea. Here's Okafor, chance! Blocked in there by Tosin, who put his body on the line in that one. Fabulous defending, but ultimately very loosely given away by Chelsea on the initial. Enzo Fernandez brought down there by Ethan Ampadu. The two captains come together. Chelsea on the free kick, but what can they do of any way of adjustments here, Leeds, to try and help themselves back into this game, as we see Enzo Fernandez just being taken down by the Leeds captain. See it here, João Pedro. A couple of loose touches, and ultimately Tosin has to bail him out there with that block on the Okafor chance. Well, this is where Leeds need to threaten. They need to get their wide players into good attacking spaces. Brendan Aronson and Noah Okafor, they've got pace to burn, they've got quality in those wide areas, major quality. Well, here's Garnacho down, and they play on at the minute, but Chelsea have possession, so it's up to them to put it out. Meanwhile, here's Pedro Neto breaking forward. Garnacho back to his feet cleanly, and he's going to receive the ball here completely unnoticed. Garnacho got through, fires one across. No one in the middle. Malo Gusto keeps it in the danger zone. Caicedo. 9 minutes to go with the first half. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. Chelsea in the ascendancy once more, trying to push for a second. Fernandez pulling the strings in the middle. He's run the show so far. Cucurella. Garnacho almost trips over the ball and then gives it away. Brendan Aronson, who wins the throw-in. Justin to Ampadu and back to Lucas Perry, who will thump it up the field. Header won by Chalobah. Second ball by Tanaka, and that will just roll back to the Leeds goalkeeper. They need to show a little bit more in possession, Leeds. They've just not been able to garner any sort of control or momentum or rhythm so far. Boy, that major chance for Aronson in front of goal. Barely been out of their own half, Leeds. Nice football here from Leeds in between the lines, getting a bit of possession. Ampadu swung it out to the right, finds Jayden Bogle, who's the out ball down this right side. Has to give it back though to Ampadu. And the foul they felt was on a man there, Leeds, but they recover the ball through Tanaka. Ampadu, held up by Calvert-Lewin, finding Aronson on the turn to Bogle. Bogle beats past Cucurella with a little bit of skill. Bogle into the box, runs into trouble but finds Aronson, who battled with Cucurella, and he wins the corner. They felt it was a goal kick there, Chelsea, but it took a couple of deflections off both players, so God only knows what that decision is, but it's a corner. Bogle with a little fabulous skill to get past Cucurella, and then lays it off to Aronson at the byline. Does it come off Aronson last? Maybe it does. Nonetheless, corner to Leeds. So a couple of better movements there, bits of possession from Leeds, and they've got themselves a corner. It's not completely rock solid, Chelsea. They've had very little to contend with so far. Tanaka swung in with the right foot. Up and away. Fed back into the box. Drops down around the back. Battling for the ball, and there's a Chelsea player down. That's going to be a Blues free kick. Caicedo, the one on the ground. See it here as it comes back into the box. Caicedo just bundled over by Dominic Calvert-Lewin there and shielding the ball, and it's definitely a foul. No doubt about it. He stayed down here, Caicedo. He is hurt. We do have this stoppage with Moises Caicedo down, but he is helped back to his feet by his goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. And Callum McFarlane trying to direct his team from the technical area. Some dressing up. From the crowd there. Someone with a Batman mask on. Only in the FA Cup. We've seen some mad stuff in the FA Cup this season. One of the best ones was at Anfield in the Liverpool-Brighton game earlier in the campaign, and it was someone with a seagull hat on, and it was so comical the whole way throughout the game. It was fantastic. He went viral, that man with the seagull mask on. It was a full head mask. It was like like a full hood that he had over him. It wasn't just one of those front-facing masks. It was a full committed, and he wore it the whole way throughout the game. Fantastic. Only in the FA Cup. That's the spirit of the FA Cup, though. Lucas Perry took this Leeds free kick deep in his own half. Goes long. Caicedo won the first header, but Ampadu won the second ball, and Leeds with a bit of room here down the right. Bogle goes for the early cross, a little bit misdirected as Tosin clears. Stroik wins it back high up the field and finds Ampadu. Now back to Bogle. Better from Leeds. Bogle hit it straight at Marco Correa, and that's out for a throw on the right side. Maybe eyeing up a long throw here, it looks like. Well, there's ample room at the side of the Wembley pitch for these long throws. He's taking as much room as he needs here, Ethan Ampadu. Long launch into the box. Up into the mix, not cleared away as it drops here for Okafor, who scoops it over the top. Goal kick. Yeah, it just kind of popped up for him a little late. And he just couldn't catch it at the right distance. Yeah, you see it here. And as he takes it on the way down, slices through it. There, Noah Okafor just doesn't catch it anywhere cleanly enough. Or what he would have liked. Of course, Noah Okafor has been fantastic for Leeds this season. 7 league goals. Of course, joined in August from AC Milan. So a great addition to the Leeds squad seemingly this season. Noah Okafor brought in some really quality players in the summer window just past to bolster their squad for the Premier League, and I mean, we saw that. It's bore fruit this season, incredibly so. Ampadu back to Bogle. Leeds have certainly had their better spell, of the best spell of the half in the last 5 minutes. Can they take advantage of this spell before half-time and get themselves back on level terms? That will be the key question. Strout with the ball down the left channel towards Okafor, but cut out that time by Chelsea. James reverses it wide to Bogle. Down the line is Aronson. Bogle back on the ball again for Leeds. Stringing good spell of possession around here, Leeds. Okafor goes down under the challenge. That's going to be a free kick just across the halfway line. Trevor Chalobah with the foul. Last minute of the half. Ceylon will be added on. Couple of minutes. We had a VAR check, a goal, and 1 or 2 stoppages for injury to this point. It's a long ball forward towards Calvert-Lewin, but Robert Sanchez and Tosin will see that one out. Tried something there, James Justin, didn't quite work out. Robert Sanchez to take this. Launched up the field. Flick on by João Pedro, but Leeds are done enough to intercept there, and Calvert-Lewin trying to hang around. Again, just been isolated up there, Calvert-Lewin. He's just not been able to dominate in the air on his own up there for Leeds. The hold-up play hasn't been great so far, as we go into 4 added minutes at the end of this first half, but you know, that's where their best chance came, Leeds, early in the game, when Calvert-Lewin just held it up and fed it through. In behind, it was the combination play that was so nice, but there's a little bit better. Calvert-Lewin brought down that time. He's going to win the free kick. That's when they look dangerous, Leeds, when they go very direct through the middle, and they find those space, make runners off the centre forward. That's where they look their most dangerous. They've got another free kick here. Tanaka once again over it. Everybody switched out to this left-hand side. Swung to the left channel by Tanaka. Headed down in the mix as there's a couple of players down, and Chelsea will get another free kick. Lavia this time brought down by Stroik. Referee saw it as a foul. Romeo Lavia. Yeah, I mean, he pushes him in the back of the head there, Strike, to get up to win the ball. It is a foul. That's where Leeds need to be a little bit more tidy, though. They've been sloppy in those moments when they've had those free kicks. They've given away really cheap fouls from set-piece positions, and set pieces are so dangerous. They are so dangerous from those positions, Leeds, but they can't be giving away cheap free kicks and let Chelsea off the hook. They've done that a couple of times in this first half, and that's where they need to be much more solid and just tidy that area of the game up, and they can be much more dangerous. 2 minutes to go of the first half. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. Enzo Fernandez with the goal that separates the two sides in this FA Cup semi-final. Cucurella. Garnacho closed out there well by Jayden Bogle. Brendan Aronson does well to fight to win the throw-in. I think the Leeds fans will be a little bit happier with how their side have played in the last 10 minutes. For a lot of this first half, it's been a lot of Chelsea possession and control, and Leeds have had to feed off scraps of their play. Bogle. Has to reverse it backwards to Biol. Tanaka to Aronson, and backwards again it comes. They're not finding those penetrating passes, those forward thinking moves that we usually see from Leeds so often. It's been a little bit lacklustre in possession so far in this game. That's a nice ball forward, but well cut out by Tosin against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And Caicedo retrieves and gives back to his goalkeeper. Sanchez goes long. Chested down by Jakob Biol and controlled well by the Leeds centre-back, who just spins towards his own goal and then Plays a poor ball to Goodmanson, who's pressed by Neto. Goodmanson trying to win it back. Chelsea break down the right. Pedro Neto up against Tanaka. Breaks forward here. Pedro Neto at the byline. Tanaka wrestling, and Goodmanson fouled in his own box. Free kick to Chelsea. Or a free kick to Leeds. Chelsea giving away that foul through Pedro Neto. Yeah, I think Leeds' just indecision is frustrating the crowd a little bit there. As the half-time whistle goes, and a first half that has gone so well for Chelsea. Ultimately, the form didn't say so coming into it, but we talked about it. It doesn't matter about form. It's about who shows up on the day, and so far Chelsea have been the better side, but you have to say Leeds, prior to that, had the best chance when Brendan Aronson had his 1v1 chance saved by Robert Sanchez. But those are the big moments in these big games, and so far it's the Chelsea captain Enzo Fernandez who's come up with the goal, the only goal of the first half. Half-time, it's Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. Sure, one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this, and Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions, and there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal! Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me! That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to FA Cup Live for the second live semi-final of the FA Cup. Half-time at Wembley, it is Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. Enzo Fernandez with the only goal of the first half. That has Chelsea at 1-up at the break. Yesterday, Manchester City 2-1 winners against Southampton at Wembley to pick their place in the final. They came from behind yesterday, Manchester City. Finn Azaz gave the Saints a lead after 79 minutes. But then it was quickly levelled up when Jeremy Doku found the back of the net 3 minutes later. And then, 5 minutes after that, in the 87th minute, Nico Gonzalez made it 2-1 to Manchester City. Set up by Jeremy Doku, by the way. And that put City through to the fourth successive FA Cup final. They dominated the game, City, less than 70% possession, 26 shots in the game. Only 6 of those 26 on target. An incredible amount of blocked shots, 11 blocked shots, 9 of them off target. For Southampton, they scored with one of their only shots on target of the second half. An incredible moment, but it wasn't to be for the Saints to go to the final, and they have been knocked out at the almost the last hurdle on that one. 2-1 win for Manchester City. And these two teams, Chelsea and Leeds, 1-up at half-time are Chelsea. They're looking to book their place in the final to face Manchester City. And speaking of that FA Cup final, it will take place in 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks yesterday, Saturday, the 16th of May, here on LFS. You can't wait for that, to see who will be crowned the champions of the FA Cup for 2026, and we will find that out in just short of 3 weeks' time. 20 days until we're back at Wembley for that. But before all that, we need to find out who our second finalist is. At half-time, it's Chelsea who lead Leeds by a goal to 0, but Leeds have had chances too, so it's not done and dusted. Second half on the way next.
Remember, you don't get it twice, the time of your life.
Welcome back to FA Cup Live. Second half at Wembley between Chelsea and Leeds is on the way in just a moment as well. But a reminder for you, we have got Premier League action for you tomorrow night as we round off match day 34 in the Premier League. It's already been dramatic with these two fighting for European football. Man United against Brentford. That's tomorrow, 8 o'clock on LFS. And we have a massive midweek to come for you as well, as the Champions League continues. Both semi-final first legs this Tuesday and Wednesday here on LFS. PSG Bayern Munich on the Tuesday and Atletico Arsenal on Wednesday evening for the first legs, and the return legs will be a week after those first legs, so lots to look forward to on that front. But as I said before all that, a big second half in this FA Cup semi-final. Leeds United haven't been to an FA Cup final in 53 years. It's only been 4 years since Chelsea were last in an FA Cup final, and they are halfway to another one. Let's see what we've got in store for this second half. Leeds had a massive chance in the first before Chelsea scored. And Leeds are going to make some changes at the break as well. And remember, a couple of players that they've missed over the last few weeks due to injury. Anton Stack and Joe Rudon both went out with injuries a few weeks ago. Well, they're back and they're on for the second half here, and they have got every chance, Leeds, with those two on the field to turn this around. Stack controlling the midfield and Joe Rudon, the stalwart at the back. Rudon has replaced James Justin, and Anton Stack is on, and I would believe, I haven't been confirmed who he's replaced, but obviously it would be a midfielder. As we get back underway at Wembley for the second half. Leeds looking to come from behind to reach an FA Cup final. Chelsea looking to hold on to what is their lead at the moment that would see them through to the showpiece event in 20 days' time. Here's Jayden Bogle. Trying the cross, was blocked off quite quickly there by Garnacho, and double teamed there by Jayden Bogle, and Marc Cucurella knocks it out for a Leeds throw. And confirmation of those changes, Jakob Biol also was replaced. So Leeds have maybe gone, I think, gone to a 4-3-3, from what I can tell. A back four, pushed an extra player into midfield in Anton Stack. Here's a bit of space from that kick, and it's rockets! That was saved by Sanchez onto the roof of the net. That was an unbelievable strike from the substitute Joe Rudon. It's actually Anton Stack. Joe Rudon tried to get in the way of it. And what a strike by Stack. Absolute thumper with the right foot. And Robert Sanchez with another cracking save to keep Chelsea in front. He's made two huge saves in this game, the Chelsea goalkeeper. That one, certainly the best of the bunch. Corner, right hand side, swung in. Away by Tosin at the front post. Stack, who took the corner, chasing back, and he does get it back to Jayden Bogle, who will recycle it back with his goalkeeper. But what an introduction from Anton Stack into the game. Less than 2 minutes, and has probably put one of Leeds' best chances on the board. They'd only had one shot on target the whole of the first half, Leeds. They've had their first shot on target of the second half inside a minute and a half. No choice, Leeds, but to try and go for this, to go all out for it. As we see the back four there, Bogle and Goodmanson as the full-backs, and Rudon and Struijk as the centre-backs. Here's Pedro Neto. Rolls it in behind, finding the run of Gusto, who got past the man who slipped, and now it's João Pedro with a chance. They're throwing bodies, everybody at it, and it's gone wide. I mean, how on earth did Leeds escape that? It should have been 2-0, and João Pedro, I don't know whether it was a glitch in the system there or whatever happened, but he didn't take the shot. We see it here. Comes to him, he rolls it, and then does not want to hit the shot. I mean, he stumbles more times than enough. I mean, about 4 or 5 times he goes for the shot there, João Pedro, and does not take it. I mean, why not? Just hit it. You don't shoot, you don't score. Just hit the shot. Corner it comes. Headed behind by Tanaka for another corner, but that is bizarre from João Pedro. I mean, golden chance, edge of the 6-yard box, to give your team a 2-goal lead in a semi-final, and you don't take the shot. Neto goes short. To Caicedo, back to Pedro Neto. Back to Caicedo. Takes it onto his left foot. Back onto his right. Finds Malo Gusto, who tries to cross it there. Deflected behind for another Chelsea corner. Both sides attacking the ends of which their fans are inside Wembley. Well, it's been a pretty good start from Chelsea, and they've continued the start of the second half in the same vein. Another corner whipped in, left-footed by Neto. Drops down again, hooked clear by Goodmanson. Pressure here as Okafor tried to help out. Now Pedro Neto down the right side. He's got Bogle for company, who's obviously on the opposite side of his usual position. Here's Enzo Fernandez, back to Caicedo. Flicks one into the box, but Tanaka's there to break it apart, and now he tries to find the runner of Okafor. He's picked up the ball here, and Okafor striding away on his own here for Leeds. He's got Calvert-Lewin in the middle. Okafor's done all the hard work, and the cross is just a little high for Calvert-Lewin. Stack recycles. Bogle a little bit heavy there into the midfield for Ampadu, and it's given away by Leeds. And the tackle by Struijk is late on João Pedro. That's going to be a Chelsea free kick. Well, I have to say, Noah Okafor done incredibly down that left to dig out that chance for Leeds. A little high on the cross for Calvert-Lewin. See it here. It's just the turn of pace, the extra little bursts of pace that beat past Caicedo, and the swung ball in. He was long. I mean, he leaped as high as he could there. Calvert-Lewin was just a little over him. Well, one back by Leeds. Ampadu has to go backwards to Pascal Struijk, but a bit more aggressive from the side who are behind. Goodmanson down the left to Okafor. Goes for the early cross this time. It's cleaned away by Chalobah. Up the field he goes with it. Struijk wins his header and wins another header. And then Okafor won his header. Chelsea retrieve the ball on the ground. Gusto trying to clear it, but given away cheaply. Tanaka. There's a bit of a roar from the Leeds crowd as Aronson want a corner, but it's going to be a goal kick. There's a roar from the Leeds crowd. I have to say they've given a lot more of a threat to Chelsea in this second half so far. Leeds, they've had all the shots, albeit with less possession, but that was a theme that continued the whole way through the first half with less Leeds possession. But early doors they looked more threatening with that. Sanchez with a long kick up the field from the goal kick, and that goes straight out of play to Leeds. Stack. Nice work from Bogle. Aronson with a bit of spinning and twisting in the middle. Here's Ampadu. Down the left comes Okafor. Lots of blue shirts in his way, but can he weave his way through? Decides to pass it off to Ampadu. Now Goodmanson. Down the left to Noah Okafor. Dribbling his way on the inside of Malo Gusto. Wanted the foul there, but not given, as he's got a bit of a battle on here, Malo Gusto against Brendan Aronson, who's both going at it, the two of them. And Malo Gusto's just stood on the, I mean, he's lying on top of the ball there. Still not giving it away. The referee letting it play on as Lavia rescues something out of that for Chelsea. And they get the throw in ultimately, but I mean, that is the most, I mean, I don't even know what to say there. Usually you see a referee blow the whistle about 10 seconds before any of that gets started. That was a bit of a throwback. All that scrapping between the players. Malo Gusto has the throw in here for Chelsea. Gets it as far as he can down the line. Struijk with the first header. Tanaka battling to find Stack. He's calm and composed in the middle. Okafor to Tanaka. Okafor moving at much quicker Leeds. Much sharper. A lot more confident in this way of playing with this back four. To seem a little bit more at ease with their play. Goodmanson, look at the space he's got here, and he's charging forward. Flicks it out wide to Okafor. He gives him an option. Okafor goes for the deep cross, and that's a little too deep. Aronson came a little bit too narrow, and ultimately goes for a goal kick. That's what I mean, though. I think he'd be pleased with how side have started the second half, Daniel Farker. They've come out with a reaction. A couple of personnel changes, a change of system, change of approach. And they're back out with some aggression. Goodmanson wrestling with his man. Ampadu also wanted to get in a battle, but he lost out. And Joao Pedro's away here for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez rolls it through, and Garnacho's shot was deflected over the bar by Bogle. Corner it will be, but that was a burst of pace from Chelsea. Pedro to Fernandez to Garnacho. And then Garnacho's shot with the right foot come off. Jayden Bogle could have went anywhere there. Fortunately for Leeds, it goes up and over the top and behind for a corner. Well, we've already had more corners in this second half than we did in the whole of the first. This is the 5th corner of the second half. We only had 4 in the whole of the first half. It's the 4th Chelsea corner of the half, though. Left hand side. His body's scattered everywhere about the pitch as Chelsea then just flood the 6-yard box. Swung in. Narrow and onto the roof of the nets by Enzo Fernandez. Eleven and a half minutes gone of the second half, so still a long way to go in this FA Cup semi-final. Chelsea are 1 up against Leeds United. Enzo Fernandez with the only goal of the game, but Leeds have looked more of a threat in the second half. Come out with a different, more aggressive approach. That could very easily go against them, but it so far has gone in their favour at times on a few occasions where they've looked dangerous. None more so than in the first 2 minutes when Anton Stack had an absolute rocket. Saved well by Robert Sanchez. Tanaka just shoved off the ball. Shoved to the ground there. A little bit cynical that from Chelsea, but Leeds have possession with Rodon. He's drifting forward from centre back. Ampadu will receive it. His ball's a little bit deflected by Lavia, but it will find its way to Noah Okafor. Tiptoeing off the left onto his right foot, clips it round the back. Header is on! And Robert Sanchez is there to stop it. Great ball in. Good header by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but not enough to take it past Robert Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. He's had a really strong day, the Chelsea keeper. Good strong header by Calvert-Lewin. Right down the throat of the goalkeeper who makes a good grab, but Leeds making more dangerous moments. Looking a much more threatening side. Look at that, for the last 5 minutes, Leeds have had the control of the ball. 68% possession in the last 5 minutes. So they're the team in the ascendancy and pushing to find a leveller. More direct. Calvert-Lewin held that one up, and a couple of tussles in the middle. The referee allows to play on as Stack feeds wide to Bogle. Options as Bogle tries to cross, blocked by Cucurella. Deflect to Enzo Fernandez, who flicks one forward. It's one for Neto to chase, and one for Neto to have the last touch as it goes out for a Leeds throw. So we are about to get close to the hour mark here at Wembley. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0, and very much in this second half, Leeds with edging the possession now throughout the half. More of the shots, big chances. The only 2 shots on target of the second period so far have come from Leeds, and here's Bogle. Reverses into Stack's path, who was cleaned out there, Anton Stack, by Moises Caicedo, who's going to get a booking. That's the first booking of the game, and Moises Caicedo, the one whose name is being taken by referee Jared Gillett. Yeah, he's comfortably filing a yellow card there. Caicedo in the book. Free kick then. Now, Robert Sanchez has gone down here. Leeds end of this wonderful stadium are not too happy. Even Daniel Farker is claiming it's tactical. Remember, they've Teddy Sharman Lowe as their sub-goalkeeper today, Chelsea. Just 23 years old. Yet to make a senior appearance for the Blues. And it's boiled over a little bit between Lavia and Ampadu. Lavia getting all up in the face of the Leeds captain. It's got a little bit unsavoury down there on the sideline between the two sets of players. They'll have to be separated, and there's even backroom staff getting involved here. It's just a bit unnecessary. I mean, get a grip. Tensions are high, emotions are boiling over clearly, but I mean, what on earth? Just wise up. There's no need for all this. Anyway, as I was saying about the Chelsea sub-goalkeeper, never played a senior game for Chelsea. Ethan Ampadu just trying to listen in on Callum McFarlane's instructions to his players, and that's what caused all the unsavoury scenes, some frustration, but all that over nothing. Nonetheless, it's a Leeds free kick, and Robert Sanchez is miraculously okay, funnily enough. And this end of the field, this end of Wembley Stadium, is in full voice of the Leeds persuasion. Anton Stack over this free kick. It will erupt if Leeds find a leveller here. Stack to deliver. Right footed, goes direct and swiped wide. Not far away there, Stack. Tried to use the wall as a guide, and it just swung away from goal. Didn't have the curl to take it back round to test Robert Sanchez in the Leeds goal, or in the Chelsea goal, sorry. And goes behind for a goal kick. Tried something different there, Anton Stack. It didn't quite work out. And Robert Sanchez, I mean, must have had a trip to Lourdes. It was a miracle. A minute ago he was down saying he couldn't continue, and now he's kicked the ball 70 yards up the pitch. Magic. Well, the noise while he was about to take that goal kick, by the way, was deafening in the Leeds end. Ball by Lavia, straight through to Lucas Perry in the Leeds goal. Bogle into Stack, linking it up well to find Bogle. Just couldn't get there in time before it rolled out for a Chelsea throw. And you feel that Leeds have been the team in the ascendancy for the majority of the second half, and that's going to trigger some Chelsea substitutions. Looks like Josh Achempong is the one ready and stripped to be coming on here. A couple of other players were ready there, Liam Delap, Cole Palmer, but they're not coming off the bench, at least for now anyway. I have to say, the noise inside this stadium is only coming from one side, and that's the Leeds end. And that's not being critical, that's just being honest. It's the truth. Moved on, taken down by Bogle, who's wrestling and battling. Leeds get the break of the ball. Calvert-Lewin with zigzag football there from Leeds, but they couldn't find Okafor, and the poor clearance here. Drops for Tanaka. Gudmundsson down the left. Okafor breaks past one. Couldn't get past the other, but has the help of Goodmanson to keep it alive, and he clips it to the back post. Calvert-Lewin was in the mix. Tanaka on the breakdown and struck it wide. Off target completely there from Ao Tanaka. The ball was dropping. He took it first time on the volley and volleyed it well wide. He's caught it all wrong there, Ao Tanaka. Had to catch it with his toe. And he caught it with the instep. And that's what sent it wide. So the change for Chelsea then. And that's Romeo Lavia being replaced by André Santos. I thought it was Achiempong, but it's Santos coming on. So, in the meantime, they can bring some information to Alejandro Garnacho there, the coaching staff. So Santos replacing Lavia. Straight swap in midfield. And another. Oh, there's the pineapple shirt in the Leeds end. Bringing the colour to a very. I mean, it's a very white looking Wembley. There's a lot of white, even in the Chelsea end. Not much blue on that side, thanks. Some yellow mixed in with Leeds, of course, with their multitude of kits. Yellow's a very popular one. Leeds, of course, no need for a kit swap today. No, there is no kind of clash. The only thing is Leeds did have to go to blue socks because Chelsea, of course, are playing in all blue. And white socks, so they couldn't wear the same. Had to swap those. Immaterial, really. Here's Caicedo to Cucurella. I don't know what he was thinking there, Mark Cucurella, but the through ball straight into the hands of the Leeds goalkeeper. Well, look at that. The scarves are flying in the away end. Well, the designated away end, the Leeds end of the Wembley Stadium. Oh no, Okafor's gone down and stayed down here for Leeds. That's not a good sign. It's an issue with his right leg, whatever it is. I think it might be just cramp. Maybe his leg's just cramped up there. Ooh. He went full stretch with that right leg and just kind of twisted a little bit. I don't think anything in his leg twisted, but maybe a bit of cramp there as we see. A couple of the big chances. Calvert-Lewin's header that was straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Big chance. You have to say Leeds haven't had a shortage of opportunities today to find the net. Three of the best chances of the game have been Leeds opportunities. Brendan Aronson's shot saved by Sanchez. Stack's rocket denied by Sanchez, and then Calvert-Lewin's header, free header, also caught by the Chelsea goalkeeper. So three really good opportunities for Leeds. Chelsea's only real good opportunity in front of goal where they've tested Lucas Perry was their goal. Other than that, you haven't really seen much other than that from Chelsea in the final third in terms of testing the goalkeeper. As Leeds get the free kick. We're pushing the back of a man, and André Santos has gone down here in a collision with Ampadu. Well, I told you, Cole Palmer was come back from warming up and wasn't ready to come on. Well, he is going to be coming on now. Cole Palmer, of course, missed the Brighton game in the week due to an issue. Back in the squad for this one and is going to be coming on to play at least 20 minutes here at Wembley. Could be more, remember, extra time and penalties if needed. Cucurella intercepting from the Leeds switch ball. Garnacho back to Fernandez, out wide to Cucurella. 21 minutes to go. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. At the moment, Chelsea will be back here in 20 days' time for the final, unless Leeds can do something about that. Gusto, Santos, Caicedo, Fernandez, out wide to Garnacho. Chelsea have maybe got a little bit back into the game all of a sudden. Best spell of possession really of the second half really for Chelsea. Caicedo, right, Chalobah fired it into the path of João Pedro, who finds it out wide to Neto. Breaking away past his one man and striking the cover, blocking out Pedro Neto and hooking it up the field. Picked up by Chalobah. Caicedo now. 20 minutes then. That's what's on the clock between Chelsea and another FA Cup final. It was late drama in yesterday's semi-final. All three of the goals in that game came in the last 11 minutes. Very late drama in that one. All came within an 8-minute spell yesterday. 79, 82 and 87 for the 3 goals. Now, Chelsea have been to the final 16 times before. Only Arsenal and Manchester United have been to more FA Cup finals than the Blues. Well, for Leeds, quite the opposite. As Cole Palmer is going to come on here for Chelsea. As I remember, I told you he scored from the spot in the 2-2 draw back in February between these two. I'd love to score again to help his side into a final, if he could. Before beaten as Struijk picks up Tanaka. Back to Struijk. Across to Rodon. By the way, Garnacho was taken off for Cole Palmer, so that was the change. Here's Okafor round the corner, finding the underlap of Goodmanson, who whips across. Drops round the back, and Bogle got the better of Neto, but ultimately had the last touch, and that's a goal kick. Leeds have reached 4 FA Cup finals. 1973 the last time they were in that final, and they actually won their only FA Cup the year before that. Leeds, they won it in 1972, and they beat Arsenal. And 100,000 attendance at Wembley that day. 6th of May 1972. Stack tried the cross, blocked by Caicedo, corner to Leeds United. Thank you very much, Charlie, in the chat says, good show, pal, you deserve more listeners. Thank you very much indeed. Opportunity then from Stack from the corner, right footed, swung into the area, away by Cucurella, right for the throw on the far side. And it's going to trigger a double substitution from Leeds. Tanaka's going to be replaced by Lucas Mecha. Tanaka coming off for Lucas Mecha, and Noah Okafor is going to be replaced by Wilfred Gnonto. So Mecha and Gnonto on, Tanaka and Okafor off for Leeds. Attacking changes as expected. What can they deliver on offer? This Leeds side late. We've got to throw in here. Far side. Ampadu's ball flung into the area. Oh, a loose header there from Chelsea. They do make up for it as the clearance. Goodmanson took a touch around the outside and was caught out by Pedro Neto, and he's bursting away here, Neto. Rodon has to come across and ultimately seen out for a Chelsea throw, but when Neto gets away, there's very few who can catch him. Luckily on that occasion for Leeds, someone could catch him. Malo Gusto to take this Chelsea throw. The little 1-2 as Gusto goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Another rising chorus of marching on together from the Leeds end. They've made all the noise of this second half, the Leeds fans. One hell of a noise. And that's going to be a foul. Really cynical one from Enzo Fernandez. Completely unnecessary, really. Free kick to Leeds. Captain on captain there. Stroik. Space to break forward. Finds Gudmundsson. Swings the cross to the edge of the area. Aronson and Calvert-Lewin were in the mix, but neither could take control of it. Here's Joao Pedro being chased and pulled by Pascal Stroik, and that should be a yellow card, and is a yellow card for the Leeds centre-back. Yeah, easy as you like that. Free kick and a yellow card. Is there going to be a late twist in this FA Cup semi-final? Will Chelsea find their way to their 17th FA Cup final? Their first in 4 years. Palmer. Chalobah. All the way back to Sanchez. Calvert-Lewin was on the press. He was no rush there, Sanchez, to find Tosin. Now Cucurella. Swung one down the left, but no one there for Chelsea further forward. I have to say, Leeds have played really well in this second half, but they need to take a chance. Otherwise, they're going nowhere beyond this point. Need to find a goal from somewhere to the visitors. Designated visitors, you know what I mean. So Pedro, beautiful hold up. I have to say, the difference in the two centre forwards today. Joao Pedro was linked up so beautifully for Chelsea. I don't think Calvert-Lewin's done the same for Leeds. Here's Palmer down the right. He's trying to take the run on the outside of Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson, who was bundled over. Palmer wanted the corner. Goal kick is given. He punched the ball away there, Palmer. Delaying the restart, and he's going to get a yellow card. Well, that is just silly. Really, really silly. I mean, talk about idiotic decisions. And Palmer gets himself a really unnecessary yellow card. Kick forward. Yeah, that one by Tosin, but second ball picked up by Lucas Mecha. Forced backwards to Pascal Stroik, and now Joe Rudon into Ampadu. Oh, let lazy there, Ethan Ampadu, and that's going to be a yellow card for his cynical challenge on Pedro Neto. It was his ball that put Leeds in a really tough spot there, and Ethan Ampadu, the Leeds captain, bails his team out and gets a yellow card for his troubles. Simple as you like that one. Pedro Neto stayed down. Slowly but surely helped back to his feet. Yeah, it is late. It's definitely a yellow card, nothing more. Pedro Neto's crawling on the floor here. He slowly gets back to his feet. Took him long enough. Enzo Fernandez is over this. The man who's the goal that would, at the moment, send Chelsea to the FA Cup final. Got the free kick opportunity here. Goes short to Pedro Neto. Back to Enzo Fernandez. Santos. Back to Tosin. And now Chalobah. Out wide to Malo Gusto. Cucurella closed out there. A bit of pressure coming here from Wilfred Gnonto. Tosin has to send flying. Stroik got something to that, as did Mecha, and now as does Calvert-Lewin, but Leeds can't keep hold of the ball. Fernandez pulling all the strings and linking it through, and now he's got Palmer away. Goodmanson did well to beat Palmer to it, clears it long. And that's a clash, and that's going to see its Leeds free kick. And I think it's is it Mecha? And I couldn't quite see who the Chelsea player was. It was Santos, but Mecha's come out the worse of the two. Yeah, he just clattered into each other there. Mecha got to the ball first, so that's why the referee's given it as a Leeds free kick. And luckily, Lucas Mecha looks okay to continue. Slowly but surely back to his feet. Into the last 10 minutes. $82,542 is the attendance at Wembley. Goodmanson. All the way back. Amadou. Leeds are down to 10 for the moment. Lucas Mecha is back to his feet, but received some treatment, so obviously has to go off. Will be waved back on shortly, you would expect, as Leeds win the throw. And they'll take as much time as they can to allow Lucas Mecha to come back onto the field. Can Daniel Farker's side find that key goal to get them back into this semi-final? Those Leeds fans can do is sit and hope that their side can find that goal. Been free scoring as of late, Leeds, but can they find a key moment in this and take a chance? We'll get one, we know that for sure. Can they take it? That is the big question. Stroik down the left to Goodmanson. Everybody back for Chelsea. That's the point in the game that it is. They don't want to go for a second. They just want to try and hang on to this. Make sure that Leeds don't get an opportunity to win it. And Lucas Mecha does unbelievably there. Finds Stack. Stack wants to shoot. Couldn't keep the shot down. Anton Stack. He's got it in him. We saw that early in the half, but from that sort of range, it's going to be incredibly difficult to find the net. It was directed towards goal, but it's too high. He apologises to his team for that missed opportunity. Leeds have been the more threatening team, but haven't been able to take their chances. That's the difference. More shots on target. In the second half, remember, they've had the only shots on target, Leeds. Chelsea without a shot on target in the whole of the second half. So it's been, in terms of an attacking sense, it's been all Leeds. They haven't been able to put that on the board. That pressure, those chances. Here's Ethan Ampadu. Kept in play there by Goodmanson, just about. It's Ampadu looking for someone, something to come alive here. Finds Anton Stack. Lovely ball into Lucas Mecha's path. He took a heavy touch there and commits a late challenge on his man, and that's going to be a yellow card. And Lucas Mecha in the book. A heavy touch puts him in a tough spot, and then the late challenge is what gets him a booking. See it here. Yeah, it's just a follow through on Caicedo that gets them the yellow card. Got the ball cleanly, but it's the follow through that is the issue. And that's got Chelsea a free kick. movement from the Leeds bench. Sean Longstaff is stripped and ready to come on in a moment. Daniel Farker giving his player some late information before he does come onto the field. Free kick here then for Leeds. Or for Chelsea, sorry. Chelsea thump it up the field. And the header was João Pedro. He gets another flick on that. Palmer brings it down and stopped by Strauch. Brendan Aronson wrestling and battling in there, and Leeds will win the throw out of Goodmanson. He will take. Before that, though, they'll make the change. And Longstaff is going to replace Brendan Aronson. Interesting. That's going to be their final change, unless this goes to extra time. That's 5 changes for Leeds made. Joel Piroux, Dan James, clearly not the options that Daniel Farker thinks they need late in this game. Will he be proven right? Got another throw in now, Leeds, further up the field. That's the last roll of the dice for Leeds. But no choice now. Throw everything you've got at it. Time is running out. 4 minutes plus the additional time to go, to go. Excuse me. And they find themselves a goal down. Excuse me. Don't know what was caught in my throat there, but apologies. Ampadu. He's gone back alongside Strike. Everybody push forward for Leeds as far as they can get them, as Goodmanson wins the throw in out of Malo Gusto. Stack drifting forward, reverse ball. Strike chases, but took a block. Caicedo's clearance deflected off a Leeds player. That's going to be a goal kick. Remember the 2026 FA Cup final, Saturday the 16th of May. As it stands, it will be a City-Chelsea final at the moment, unless Leeds can have something to say about that. At the moment, in terms of the scoreline, they haven't had anything to say about that. They've had their chances. It doesn't matter how many chances you have to take at least one of them at Wembley. Otherwise, there's nothing more to come out of it for you. Oh, Sean Longstaff lost out there to Fernandez. He's gone wide and back from Cucurella to Tosin. Santos flicks it around the corner. Caicedo just evades the pressure and buys the foul. That's really smart from Moses Caicedo. He was fouled, but that's a little bit lazy from Leeds, really. I mean, it's just unnecessary. Come charging in, and Caicedo just beat him to it. And he's got a real big issue here, Caicedo, because he's down, clutching at his left knee. That could be a real big, bad issue for him. So they're on to assess the Chelsea midfielder for the moment, the medical staff. See it here, maybe he twisted his knee. Oh, they knocked knees, that's what it was. Caicedo in real pain here. I mean, he's wincing in such pain. Let's hope all is okay there. Doesn't look in a good way, Chelsea midfielder. We see the goal that, as it stands, would be the winner. Beautiful cross, guided, wonderful header by Enzo Fernandez. And at the moment, that is what would see Chelsea through to the final. We saw Leeds' chances. Brendan Aronson's one saved. Stack's rocket denied by Sanchez. And the Dominic Calvert-Lewin header as well, amongst the best of the chances for Leeds. But only one of those chances we've seen from both teams has found the net. That was the Chelsea one. Lorenzo Fernandez as Caicedo helped back to his feet here. There's a crowd of bodies, including the referee, all in the mix here as Chelsea can make more subs. Remember, they've only made 2 subs, but have only one more opportunity to make a substitute. They can make up to 3 different changes here. Caicedo, excuse me, is off to the sidelines here. Whether they'll make a substitution or not, I think they might just do. 8 added minutes. There you have it. Eight added minutes. Caicedo on the sidelines, just waiting to return to the field of play. Sanchez takes the free kick and kicks it straight out of play. So 7.5 minutes. Can Leeds find a goal in that time to keep this semi-final alive and keep their chances of reaching a final in situ? Or will Chelsea hang on to this lead? Caicedo wave back onto the field now, so it's 11 v 11 once more. Goodmanson down the left, takes on Palmer, swings one into the box, hooked away by Fernandez, but Leeds retrieve. Leeds on the offensive, Chelsea on the defensive. That ball from Ampadu was a bit loose. Straight out of play for a Leeds throw, and a bit of frustration from Daniel Farker about his team at the minute. And now it's the Chelsea end that are singing inside Wembley. It's been the Leeds end for the majority of this second half, but as it edges closer to full time, it's the Chelsea end that is singing in full voice. Bit of nerves, I would suspect, around this end of the field, of which Leeds have their fans in attendance. Longstaff. Goal. Back to Rodon. I mean, it's not much urgency about Leeds here at the moment. They're strolling about like they're the ones that are 1-0 up. They need a goal. They need to quicken this up, otherwise this will be a stroll to the final for Chelsea in these last 6 minutes. That was good patience, and Longstaff was caught late there by Santos. That's going to be a Leeds free kick just inside their own half. Rodon takes quickly. Strike goes out to the left to Goodmanson. We'll swing one towards the box. Flick down. Calvert-Lewin couldn't keep a hold. Nonto beaten to it with a header. Longstaff wins it back, and Ampadu in a tussle. Santos won it but lost it. Stack. Strike out to the left to Goodmanson. Hounded by Palmer as Goodmanson brought down by Palmer. Referee says no foul. Fair challenge. Chelsea breakaway now, but the poor through ball allows Leeds back in possession. 5 minutes to go. Cucurella with the header to clear away from the loop ball over the top. Longstaff throwing himself into a tackle. Everybody's down over there. Neto gives it, and he gives it away. And he's wrestling and battling Bogle there. And Jayden Bogle got a little bit frustrated and threw an arm at Pedro Neto. Well, Bogle's going to get a yellow card for his frustrations, and I think Pedro Neto's going to get a yellow card for his pull on Bogle. I mean, he did catch him in the face there, Jayden Bogle, but I mean, Pedro Neto he's gripped the whole way round Jayden Bogle there. I mean, I think there was more in the contact between Pedro Neto on Jayden Bogle than the other way about. Both been booked. Free kick then, just inside the Leeds half. Less than 4 minutes of the 8 added to go. Time slipping away from Leeds. Free kick. Header not fully cleared by João Pedro, but helped along its way by Santos. Nicely done by Nonto. He goes down under a challenge and wins another free kick, this time out of Enzo Fernandez. Nail-biting moments for the Leeds fans. Desperate for a goal. Longstaff swung it round the back, and that one was towards Calvert-Lewin, but the bounce beat him to it. Goal kick. Good ball in, but Calvert-Lewin was maybe just a half second too late. If he gets there before it bounces, it's a massive chance, but it just bounces before he can get to it, and it gets away from him. Massive. 2.5 minutes. Time ticking further and further away from Leeds. Enzo Fernandez's goal could and looks very likely to be the goal that makes the difference today. He's won the player of the match, Enzo Fernandez, but the match isn't over yet. Calvert-Lewin wins a really strong header there. He's got Goodmanson, tired legs, he's strung forward. Stack wins a header and he's going to be penalised for a push in the back of a Chelsea player. And that, I have to say, might just be that. Don't want to call it to an end just yet, but Leeds have had this whole half in their favour and haven't been able to score. Maybe it is just one of those days for Leeds. Liam Delap's going to be coming on here. The dying embers for Chelsea. As they're on the cusp of another FA Cup final, Chelsea. Leeds on the cusp of another FA Cup semi-final defeat. João Pedro going to be making way. There's going to be something for this. Leeds are going to need a massive break in the play here. A massive break in the ball from this Chelsea free kick. With the free kick and the time ticking away. It's all in Chelsea's favour now. All they got to do is carry it home. Get it over the line. Palmer into the box, couldn't find a way through there. Leeds need to do it now. Nonto, poke ball forward, it will find its way to a Leeds player in Mecha, but they couldn't hold it up there, Leeds. Last moment now, surely. Lucas Perry with it. Hoofs it up the field. 8 minutes is up, but we will have some added with the substitution. Bouncing ball in the middle as Chelsea hoof it as far away as they can get it. One more goal kick. Will that end it? Or will it give Leeds one last dying hope of a chance to steal a goal? It's now time to do it for Leeds if they can. Lucas Perry up the field. First header won by Chelsea. Out for the Leeds throw. They're up the field. Nonto is going to leave it, allow someone else to take it, but if they don't hurry up, they might not get the chance to take it. I think Lucas Perry's coming up. The goalkeeper's coming up for Leeds. They know it's now or never. Ampatu's long throw in coming. Launched into the area. It's towards the goalkeeper. It's the Chelsea keeper that makes contact. Still alive. He's not gone back here, Perry. Nanto's got a little bit dangerous with the ball. Ampatu blocked there by Palmer. And there's the final whistle. Chelsea are into the final. Leeds United gave it all they could. But ultimately, Enzo Fernandez with the only key moment of the game. The only goal of the game. That sees Chelsea into their 17th FA Cup final. Their first in 4 years. And a chance at Wembley, redemption for the Blues after failing on the last couple of attempts. Callum McFarlane brought in as caretaker boss on Wednesday. 4 days later, he carries his team to an FA Cup final. Heartbroken Leeds fans, their cup run comes to an end. After their penalty shootout win in the quarter-final, they got to their first semi-final in this competition in 39 years. They were on the cusp of breaking a half-a-century record if they'd have progressed here, but not to be. Chelsea find a way through, and they're into the final. It will be City against Chelsea in the final in 20 days' time. And Chelsea, on the day, they might not have had the best chances in the second half, but one thing they did have was a man who could find the net in the right moment, and that was their captain, Enzo Fernandez, who gives them the only goal they needed to see a way past Leeds and into the FA Cup final. Final score at Wembley in this FA Cup semi-final. It's finished Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. Chelsea into the FA Cup final. And confirmation of the lineup for the final. City-Chelsea is the matchup. That is what it will be. Manchester City in their fourth successive final. Beaten in the last couple were Manchester City. Now it is Chelsea's turn to return to Wembley in a final, and this time to make up for their last couple, which they have failed to win. And that is what's to come in a few weeks. Manchester City beaten by United and Palace in the last two since they last won it in 2023. Chelsea, in their last three FA Cup finals, they've lost to Liverpool, Leicester and Arsenal. They want redemption for that. Their last FA Cup win was 2018. They're 8th. City with 7. So it is a battle of two teams that know this final well, know this competition well. And we'll see them face off for the ultimate prize on Saturday the 16th of May. Confirmation of the two semi-final results. Manchester City 2-1 winners against Southampton yesterday, despite the Saints taking the lead in that game. City's come back in the last few minutes. Jeremy Doku and Nico Gonzalez with the goals, and Chelsea just needed the one against Leeds today, with the goal coming through Enzo Fernandez. Right, so also before that FA Cup final, we have a big Premier League game for you tomorrow. Man United taking on Brentford, Monday 8 o'clock on LFS. And confirmation once again at FA Cup final, Manchester City against Chelsea, Saturday the 16th of May. But there it is, it's set in stone. Manchester City against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. It looked likely to be that, but no disrespect to Southampton or Leeds, they gave themselves a good fight in their respective semi-finals. But it is the champions-elect, possibly, who knows? Manchester City against Chelsea, two sides who, as I said, have won this multiple times. And we'll see who will win it on that big day on the 16th of May. Will it be Callum McFarlane's Chelsea or Pep Guardiola's Manchester City? Remember, Chelsea haven't beaten Manchester City since the 2021 Champions League final. Could they do it again in another final? We'll find out. Thanks for your company. We'll see you again tomorrow for that Premier League game. But for now, thanks for your company. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.